and I'm the founder of this company. If you guys have any questions, please add it into the Slido because I'm a bit nervous, and it would be really helpful if you guys start asking questions, and so that I can try to address them. Also, everybody's sure got nagging questions about influencers because influencers are one painful topic. So if you all have any nagging questions to ask me how I handle them, and then so we're actually essentially like a punching bag. So when the brands come to us and they're angry with the influencers, we suck it all in, brewing inside, and then go to the influencers and be very nice. Hi, I'm so sorry. Can you make changes for us? And then they get angry, like, cannot lah. How can you do this? And then we suck it all in like a punching bag, and then go to the other side. I'm so sorry. Influencers say cannot. So that's essentially my company. And so because it's such a painful thing we do, right? So we have to give ourselves a really cute name just to make it fun. Sushi Bit. So, do I like sushi? I actually don't take that much rice because diet. Working in this influencer space also has its negative perks, right? Because I get so pressured all the time because all the time you see all these pretty girls and then you're like pressured to try to look good also. So sorry. Maybe next time sashimi vid because sushi vid cannot eat rice. Okay, so today's topic is why influencer marketing is still a winning strategy and how to get it right. So a little bit about where do I point? That's me. I have all kinds of hairs. Okay, so I founded the company 3.5 years ago, and we are we're a startup, and we have worked with over 500 different brands in Malaysia for influencers across Southeast Asia, but predominantly Malaysia, but I just have to say for Southeast Asia because investors like to hear that. And we have about 15,000 influencers. So 15,000, we don't really have that many big influencers, 15,000. It's just anything from 2,000 followers and above is influencers. So any of you have 2,000 followers on Instagram, sign up so that you can get some extra cash. So today we'll talk about a Alibaba case study because I feel that we should do some case studies because I keep talking about influences. I want to give real life application. Also TikTok and how to get it right. I wouldn't call myself an expert in this, but we just have about 3.5 years experience. So if you guys have any opinions and you want to chip in, just feel free to Slido it. So Alibaba, right, set a new Singles Day record, 30.8 billion. That was last year in 24 hours. And to give you an expectation as well, why did I bring this up? Is because 6 out of 30 of their female apparel stores belong to influencers. And who is the biggest spender in 11/11? We girls, right? We are the biggest spender, and we've, 6 of these influencer stores made a lot, so that's one. And also during that period leading up to the Singles Day, the influencers actually shared 2.83 million coupons on Weibo. So, this is 11/11, the world's biggest online sale, and this is what the influencers have done. So if you ask me if it's a winning strategy, yes, I think so. Because if I ask all of you to put up your hand, you'll say like, how many of you check your Instagram at least twice a day? See? All of you are influencer suckers. That's what it is. You guys are, consuming this content. And then is it a winning strategy? Like, yeah, hello. How many of you, try to, put in a lot of content on LinkedIn? Right? We tried. Hey guys, I'm telling you, LinkedIn is growing. Please, be the influencer. Don't give it to the other person. If you have it, just do it. And all of you do, by the way. All of you do. All of you can be influencers. So also, just excitingly, right? Within 10 minutes, this revenue from store managed by the blogger incubator, name I don't understand in Chinese, reached a combined 100 million RMB. Okay, and the last time I was in China, which was 2 months ago, and I spoke to one of the influencer agencies, an influencer that's 2 weeks old, just trained for 2 weeks, okay, and goes on Taobao Live, makes 200,000 yuan. That's 100,000 ringgit. just the influencers. So you just go there, talk and talk and talk and talk. But you know their population is much bigger, like 1 billion. So if you cross it down for Malaysia, maybe not so much. We won't make so much, but not bad. I mean, you know, there is opportunity. Okay, so just saying. Also, the first 30 minutes, Taobao store run by Zhang Dayi and Sherry stormed into the top 10 of the women's apparel category. I mean, so if you see, right, the 11/11 campaign is huge, and then that huge, and influencers play such a huge role, right, in the sale. So if you guys are running e-commerce business, that is, I think, you know, something you guys should take note of. What is the difference to us, right? The whole country speak one unified language. So good for them, because you just use one influencer, you can target the entire nation. However, in Malaysia, it's not the same, right? We have 3 different languages. We have, or more than 3, but we have different people seeing different content. I mean, how many of us follow all the Chinese-speaking influencers? I don't. I wish I could understand better, but I don't, right? But do I follow some Malay influencers? I do, some. Right? But I don't follow all. But so different people have different pockets of influence. But for them, good for them, whole country, one language. Right? But the influencers are also very open to hard selling. Our influencers here are very diva. You tell them to sell anything, sorry, I don't do hard sell content. Anything like, can you just say, please say this one extra, oh, too hard sell. Right? Put the logo on the video, I want an extra charge. This is Malaysian influencers. Anything you ask them to do, right, that is like, a little bit hard sell. Oh, sorry, I don't put logos on my thumbnail. If you want, I have to charge. Serious, I kena that one time. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I have to be the punching bag. Suck it all in. Look at the brand and like, hi. You know, I'm so sorry. We need to pay extra 2,000 ringgit. Huh? And that's the job of my team. Huh? And then from viewing to buying is also much shorter. Right? In China, the influencers do it on Taobao Live, touch, and then Alipay, gone, sold. They know where you stay, they know everything about you, your Alipay is already connected, right? So from Taobao Live to sale is like already there. So for them, Taobao is not just a, you know, like a Lazada, right? You just go there for shopping, but you go there to shop to also, you know, look at content, right? So theirs is very, very integrated already. So it's easy for them to sell anything. But for us, it's different. We have to go on Instagram, and then Instagram try to find that link, where the link, click, and then go there, and then, oh, have to put in all your information from shipping and everything, and then put in your credit card all over again. So the journey for a buyer from the influencer's content to the sale is very far compared to in China. So that's the big difference, right? We need to recognize that and realize that maybe not so easy for us. But it doesn't mean it's not possible. It's possible, it's just not so easy. But we're getting there, right? Because Shopee Live is starting, you know, Lazada Live is starting, so we're getting there somehow. And the similarities is that they do have different tiers of cities, and the different tiers of cities will have different kinds of influencers that they follow. So some people may like the super alien type, right? And some people may like the really classy type, right? So if you go to like 2nd, 3rd, 4th tier cities, everybody be wearing this monogram Gucci everywhere. And if you go to the big cities like Shanghai and Guangzhou, right, they want to be subtle. There's a small G here. Very subtle. They don't want too much. Right? So they have different pockets of audience also. So that's one thing, but still 1 billion population. The similarities, people on their phones, we're the same. We're still the phone suckers. Same stuff. And still, genuine content works. So for these influencers to really sell the content, the product, right, they are very picky on the brands that they choose. So whether you want to be an influencer or whether you want to engage an influencer, make sure your own product is also good, you know, so that, you know, because at the end of the day, people can only gonna con once or twice. After I listen to this influencer and I buy one time, second time, okay, fine, she made, maybe we have differences. But the third time, it's like, wow, I cannot listen to any of her recommendations. Her recommendations are terrible. Right? And she loses her credibility as well. So that's the thing, right? So these are the 3 similarities I find in both cases. So now we talk about TikTok. We're still on the topic of why this is a winning strategy, okay? If you guys are not convinced yet, after you put your hand up when you say that you're checking your Instagram more than twice a day, this is why. TikTok is the most valuable company, startup in the world. Right, 2 years ago when I was here and when I started the business, TikTok didn't even exist. But then out in the middle of nowhere, if you walk around the streets, you go to Starbucks and sit down and look at people looking at their phones, there's a high chance they're on TikTok. They're scrolling on TikTok. I don't even know what they're watching. Honestly, I find the content a little bit, right? For us, we're not a target market group, but the general population thinks that it's damn cool. And seriously, it's addictive. Sometimes you watch, right? And then you realize that you scroll and scroll, it's very fast, it's easy to consume. The content is so easy. And then 1 hour passes by and you're like, oh my god, my time just flew. I'm serious, the content is so easy to consume. It's like, some girls doing cute face and me, and then, oh my god. I can't handle that, right? But then, you would watch it, and then 1 hour passes by and you're like, so, yes. Sure. We can also give you the slides after. Yeah, I'll give you the slides after. So it is, it's just a matter of, so my conclusion is that it is a winning strategy. It's a matter of the changing trends and how are we picking up. Because at the end of the day, we are all the people that are consuming these things, right? So it started with bloggers back in, oh my gosh, I was in college then. We started with blogs, right? People started writing blogs, and there was Friendster, MySpace, right? And then it went to mini blogs, Twitter, because it's shorter than a blog. People like that because I just want updates now. I don't want to write 10 paragraphs worth, right? And then it became Facebook. Facebook became popular, right? And then from there it went YouTube because people don't want to write anymore. They want a video. And then also because phones came out, right? So everybody has access to gadgets that enable people to make videos. But Malaysians, we were slow, honestly. In 2012, if I had known YouTube was going to get this big, I would have not quit being an actress. I would have just stayed on and just make my own YouTube video. And today I would be, one of the big ones. Because they all started about 2012. But I didn't know. I was like, oh yeah, acting no prospect, let's quit. Right? And then now I'm looking at hiring these people and paying them 50,000 one video. Big mistake. But yeah, so I didn't know. And we didn't know. If we knew, we would have been the YouTubers, right? So YouTube. And then after YouTube, and then it's like, oh, let's do visually appealing because the country became richer, people became richer. We have all this beautiful LED lights, nice sitting area. People want to take visually appealing pictures so that they can sit down and pose and share with their friends that they're doing some cool stuff, right? So Instagram came about, and then the younger generation was like, I don't want to store any memories. Digital 24 hours so that my mother cannot see and cannot complain, Who I date today, nobody knows tomorrow, so you better check my Snapchat now. Right? So that's the Snapchat. It came out because the young people were like, okay, I just want 24 hours one, okay? I don't want anything more than 24 hours. I don't want to store my data. I don't know why, there's a change in mindset. Right? Because before that, they were like, we are all capture all our memories, share it on Instagram, tag everybody, right? Because we are capturing memories, scared, nobody see our content. And now, then they went into that category of don't want to keep one, right? Don't want to keep the content, just 24 hours, bye-bye. Right? You missed it? Oh, too bad. So, and then after that, TikTok came out, right? So this three is actually in line right now, all three, right? So TikTok came out, and then you're all the young people in the Musical.ly, and then they don't even want to talk anymore. They just want to make gestures to a video. And then even mimic people talking, they don't, not even their voice, but they just want to do that. I don't know. I cannot understand it, but that's the generation we are looking at, right? And then there's also the Shopee Live and Lazada Live. Whether we like it or not, that's influencers. It's just that they are social selling influencers. So they're a different category of influencers, but they're influencers. So if you guys are not influencer yet, want to be an influencer, suggest you to go and be an influencer on Lazada and Shopee, right? Because it's the fresh. Every time, if you are the first one in any platform, you will be the one. So when TikTok started, right, all the young ones went in there, and then because they got not enough content to feature anyway, so they will feature you. So if you go to Lazada or Taobao or Shopee now, there's only 10 channels. You will definitely be in page 1. I'm telling you, do it. If you haven't even started, if you're thinking, Lazada and Shopee is a good opportunity. I don't know what is their regulation of who can be on it or whatever, but if you have a way, get in there, right? Because it's an opportunity. And then podcasts, because I don't know how many of you listen to podcasts. I do. I love listening to podcasts when I go to sleep. It's like my bedtime story. I love listening to podcasts on my way to work because I stay in Klang. It's 1.5 hours every morning. So I'm so that's why when I trick my team, I tell them Chicha, read one book a week. I do, because podcast. I'm listening and consuming this content. At one point, I was listening so much when I go to sleep that I couldn't sleep so well. I had so much stress because I thought I could cheat time. Right? You know, did you guys watch Doctor Strange where, you know, his body came out, his soul came out from the body and then he's consuming content while his body is asleep? I tried to do that. Don't do that. Okay? I'm telling you, it doesn't work. Your body needs to sleep. She's pressuring me with a 10-minute mark. Okay, so why is it a winning strategy? I think I've already explained myself, huh? Everybody agree? So how to get it right? Tip 1, research. I mean, you see, even Albert Einstein, right? How did he discover the theory? Is that he actually was into this whole thing, the whole theory thing. He's been testing, checking, reading, understanding everything. So it's no shortcut. You have to go and do your own research. Okay, you just have to keep trying because our friend also tried many times. So in order for you to be an expert in something, try. Get started somewhere, anywhere, right? Like for me, I'm really bad with LinkedIn, but every time I get a chance, I'll try to put something on LinkedIn. Even though I don't know what I'm doing, nobody's watching, nobody cares. Do it. Because you need to get in the habit of doing something. Okay? And research. Because nobody can do the research for you. You know your product best. You know yourself best. What do you like? So I don't know what to share. If I want to be an influencer, I don't know what to say. Like, yeah, I also don't know what to say. Just say something, anything. You know, you start with like, oh, today I baked something. And then tomorrow you talk about like, oh, today my problem at work. You can start just ranting and then figure out what people are listening to. And then from there, get started. I've talked very fast because 10-minute mark. Second tip is always be genuine. I already told you earlier, just be genuine because people don't want to listen to fake people. Okay, so, and because the world is judging you. So if you create fake content, they will know in 2 minutes. So it's like if today I try to pretend that I'm so in love with music and I keep talking about music, people will tell through it because I am not a music lover and I cannot pretend. Okay? Can you believe it? I'm going to YouTube for a concert and I haven't even listened to the album yet. I don't even know what's in there. Yeah, that's how bad I am. So tip 3, go for the long term. Always plan your influencer marketing content long term because you need to be consistent. So you cannot like today do it and tomorrow like, oh, no result. Cannot. It has to be a weekly thing. Okay, don't give up. Just keep doing. Right? If you want to be an influencer. If you are a brand trying to use influencer, also be consistent, please. Huh? Don't do one time and then like, we're not effective. Like, I spend so much money. No, don't try to do it as a one campaign thing. Try to do it as a regular thing. Okay, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but that one time it's viral, that's when you go insane. But if you don't try at all and you like try one time and say it's not effective, okay, got it, huh? Running out of breath. Okay, tip 4, stick to your objective. So you must know what is your objective. Okay, so we're coming up with a ebook soon about 11/11, and you guys should read it. We talk about different brands having different objectives. So we could see that Shopee had a different objective from Lazada, had a different objective from Taobao when it comes to 11/11. So it really depends on what your objective is. If your objective is awareness or building trust or just reach or app downloads, right? These are different kinds of objectives. So if you have a different objective, then you cannot measure to say like, oh, the other campaign I see were very successful, but maybe they had a different strategy. Okay, so always have your objective in mind before you start it. And then take risk. Okay, everything with content takes risk. Imagine you do one Petronas TV commercial for 200,000. That is risk. Of course, you know most of the content is good, but then there is also risk involved. So every time you do a content, there is risk. Okay, and you can mitigate that risk by engaging smaller influencers first, test the market. But still, you just have to take risk. That's me, and Q&A time. Any questions? Thank you.
Any questions from the floor? I mean, we did mention the Slido earlier, so any question from the floor? Anyone?
Question.
Is there a time horizon to how long influencer marketing can kind of keep going on? Like, is it a fad, or do you think it's here to stay?
I think it's here to stay. It's just a different platforms. So if you think you're going to be famous on YouTube and then that's it, you're wrong. Because today is YouTube, tomorrow is TikTok. Because the reason why TikTok is really so successful, right, is because it's so easy to make the content. You just touch, let go, your content's done. And then just change filter like that. Okay, but YouTube hasn't innovated, right? So YouTube as a platform is like you have to upload the video, you have to put in the description, put in a title, you have to put in tags, and then you have to make all kinds of adjustments and then put it up. right? But TikTok as a platform is just touch and go. So I think influencer marketing is here to stay, right? Even before influencer marketing came on social media, it was blogs, and before blogs, it was celebrities, right? Because that was the only avenue we had for attention. Like the only thing we can see is TV, right? So I think it will be there. Yeah.
Follow up. So if it's increasingly going to sort of like micro influencers, right? Like you had these celebrities, like the A-list celebrities once that are promoting your brand, and now increasingly you have like these micro influencers, right? So like how can you still be at scale reaching your audience and like kind of keeping an overview of what's going on? Like how do I effectively get people when there's like so many different people having content and distributing it on these platforms?
Just engage more of them. So if you used to just need one Sheila Majid, today you need 100 smaller influencers, and that's where you can get different voices to speak for you for different pockets, right? And also, I think that's a better way also, because then you get different channels. But as long as you're true to your value, you're really providing value, you're not afraid what people will say, right? As a brand, we shouldn't be like, control freaks about content that people put out there about us. If they said something not so good about us, it's an opportunity for us to also show people the human side of our business, right? So for example, I think it was one company, Timothy Tia, wrote about this dairy product he bought, and then Farm Fresh or something. And then the Farm Fresh people responded so well that I became a fan of Farm Fresh after that. I think it was Farm Fresh, because they responded with really apologetic. We are also trying to take care of our cows. We're trying to take care of everything, but as a business, it's difficult. And then they try to really humanize it, and people accept that, right? Because we want genuine content. So as long as we're genuine, right, and we're really providing value as a brand to anyone, right, we're not afraid how many people say what about us, because we're real. So it comes down to that value. Yeah.
Okay, Miss. So we can only have one more question. You can choose from the Slido here.
Oh gosh. With the influencer market becoming saturated, how do you differentiate genuine influencers from those who are buying followers? I love that question. So how we differentiate as our business, right? When we engage influencers, we engage them 100 at a time. So that's the business model that we have. So for example, when Shopee engages SushiVid, we do 100 influencers at a go. Or when Grab engages SushiVid, or Touch and Go engage SushiVid, we do 100 influencers at a go. But what's good about that is every time we get 100, we will be able to sieve out the bottom 15 that we think is not credible, right? And then from there, I have 85 clean influencers from this one campaign. And in campaign B, I have 85. Campaign C, I have 85, because every campaign I weed out the dirty ones, right? So as a platform, we have always been consistent about our data. And every campaign, we make sure we clean out the dirt, right? So as a whole, the more campaigns we do, the more sort of like crowdsourced data, clean data that we have as a platform. So that's how we actually, weed out the bad ones. But it's also very obvious, because at the end of the day, right, just give you a tip. Instagram and Facebook don't lie, right? If just say your content is average, but then it's nothing that sparks virality. It's just your day-to-day content. And then out in the middle of nowhere, you have such a spike. It's obvious. Because unless the content you watch and then you're like, oh, that was genuinely funny and that was really out of this world, fine, then a lot of people share it. But if it's just another content about her posing with this clicker and it got a lot more reach than average, then we know something's wrong. Because how could it be? You can say time. You can say, maybe the timing where she posted or whatever. But at the end of the day, Facebook allows you to scroll this many posts at any point in time. Instagram also, every one of us, we scroll, we see different things. But that's because Facebook determines what you see. And what you see is only that amount. So if that person's content is average, right, and that person's content is, nothing that's going to make it so shareable, but it gets so much reach or like, it's cheating the system, and the system shouldn't be cheated. So we will know from there also. So for example, if everybody else's or her of average is, or his average, right, is always 10%. And then you're like, suddenly it's 25%, okay, what happened there? And then you look at the content, and if it's like, oh, so average, then we know something went wrong there, right? That's over time. You see the growth over time. And also you see averagely to the other influencers also. If just say everybody posted at this time and everybody's average is this amount, and then this person's one is out of this world, then you're like, And so sometimes when they give you extremely good engagement, doesn't mean it's good. All right, it's suspicious. And then so, yeah, you should be aware of that.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Yuhwen. Please stay. Token of appreciation.
Yes, I'm the president.
So, can I get Miss Natasha from LinkedIn to present a token of appreciation?